Die Europäische Zentralbank legte den Referat.
This is the Opie and Anthony channel.
And now, a show the likes of which America's never seen. So appalling, so offensive, yet so entertaining.
It's not your normal show.
Beamed from satellites in space down to you every single day.
What planet are we living on?
It's the Opie and Anthony show with Opie.
We're experts, and we already know this is going to be great radio, so shut the fuck up.
And Anthony.
I live in a big house, I make a lot of money, and I fuck attractive girls.
And little Jimmy.
I don't even like in our opening. It sounds like a little...
You dang open hand and don't listen to dang open hand.
Stop with that shit.
And now, here they are. Why am I introducing these buffoons? I'm William Shatner, goddammit.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Yes, let's do it. Good morning, everybody.
Goodness gracious. Hi.
I think we got to start off with the fact that we got kind of lazy and tired at the end of yesterday's show. I didn't even discuss this with you before.
No.
And I meant to. That was Alex Jones on that deathbed confession. That was... He made that tape.
What do you mean?
He made that tape. Because why isn't that tape anywhere? The JFK thing that he wanted us to listen to. First of all, he said it was audio and video. Right. I was clock watching around 9:30 yesterday.
Deathbed confession.
It's a radio thing where you start watching the clock.
Clock watch.
I was clock watching, got a little lazy, and then I went home going, wait the fuck a minute here. We had Alex Jones on. He was talking about the JFK thing. He thinks it's a conspiracy. And then he points us to this deathbed confession from Howard Hunt.
Yeah.
But this thing, no one has ever played, really. It has a life on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
But Alex Jones, told us that there was audio and video.
Right.
All we saw was, I guess technically it's a video because it's on YouTube, but it was an audio clip with some stupid old school fucking painting graphic or something.
Yeah, it wasn't video.
And then I'm thinking to myself, I think that was Alex Jones to keep his shit going.
That would be Can
we go back to that again?
We're going to sort through this a couple of times, so let's just go ahead and roll it now so that people can hear it.
This is the deathbed confession of E. Howard Hunt, proving that there was a JFK conspiracy.
The first national airing of the testimony of E. Howard Hunt from January of 2004 about the JFK assassination on Coast to Coast Live.
I heard from Frank that LBJ had designated...
I didn't know what Howard Hunt sounded like at the end of his life.
Right.
Undertake a larger organization.
That just sounds wacky.
While keeping it totally secret.
You can pause it. We don't have to replay the whole thing.
Oh, my God.
And if it really is E. Howard Hunt, it's extremely vague.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you're going to have a deathbed confession, why wouldn't you just say, okay, A, B, and C?
Here's what happened, right.
And ought.
Is that him?
Wait, see, this is a different fucking video now. Wait a minute. But it's stills.
Stills of him
on his deathbed.
In his deathbed, as they say.
All right, well, go back to where we were.
But I don't know. It didn't sound like Alex.
Yeah, it was playing on Coast to Coast, which is, what's his name's?
All right, maybe it's far-fetched to say it was Alex, but, okay.
There's the old Art Bell show.
Art Bell.
Yeah, I know. I'm still very suspicious about the... about this, is what I'm saying. Because why would you be so vague in your deathbed confession?
Right.
You have nothing to lose at that point.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a senile and medicated old man.
Well, that's true. He sounded wacky.
Shooting off at the mouth.
Push play again.
Cordmeyer himself was a rather favorite member of the Eastern aristocracy.
See, stuff like that. Eastern aristocracy. What? I've never heard about the Eastern aristocracy.
He just keeps...
aristocracy. I almost can't say it.
He just keeps going and rambling on, and it's...
but then...
maybe he's heavily medicated.
Or maybe that's how the CIA people talk.
Right.
They have their own language. Keep going.
On their deathbed, though?
Hunt and Liddy.
Right.
Was a graduate of Yale University and had joined the Marine Corps during the war and lost an eye in the Pacific fighting.
Okay.
All right.
I think that LBJ settled on Meyer as an opportunist.
Like, what is he going into? Just say, yeah.
Right.
By the way, LBJ killed Kennedy.
Right.
I'm on my deathbed. Oh, LBJ killed him.
Yeah, I think that LBJ settled on Meyer as an opportunist.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you just say LBJ picked Meyer?
He picked this guy to kill him.
Right.
It's so stupid.
All right, so maybe it's not Alex Jones himself, but it's still very, very fishy because of
suspect.
Just how it just kind of weaves around.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep going.
It's not. It's not. It's too vague.
Keep going.
And a man who had very little left to him in life ever since JFK had taken Cord's wife as one of his mistresses.
Oh, okay.
I would
That's
suggest
not vague.
that Cord Meyer welcomed the approach from LBJ, who was, after all, only the vice president at that time.
Yes.
And, of course, could not number Cord Meyer among JFK's admirers.
All right.
Quite the contrary.
Yeah.
As for Dave
Cord's wife fucked JFK, so Cord was happy to kill him for LBJ.
Right.
There. Right. Fucking conversation done.
Right. And it goes, as for Dave Phillips, I knew him pretty well at one time.
Oh.
Keep going.
I don't know.
Pretty well at one time.
Yeah.
He worked for me during the Guatemala project.
Oh,
he
by
made
George.
himself useful to the agency in Santiago, Chile, where he was an American businessman.
So
In
what?
any case, his actions, whatever they were, came to the attention of the Santiago station.
Sold grass umbrellas. For 99 cents a piece.
Right.
It's the rambling of an old man.
But what does he mean by, in any case, his actions,
nothing,
whatever they were, came to the attention of the Santiago station chief. And when his resume became known to people in the Western Hemisphere, that's a big area. Western Hemisphere Division. Is there a Western Hemisphere Division?
Oh, well, we should know about that.
He was brought in to work on Guatemalan operations. That's kind of like all over the road, right?
A long-winded way to say, like,
right.
He worked for the agency in Guatemala.
He was well qualified, maybe. All right, keep going. It's almost over.
And when his resume became known to people in the Western Hemisphere Division, he was brought in to work on Guatemalan operations.
Right.
Okay.
Spurrier and Morales and people of that ilk stayed in apartment houses during the preparations for the big event.
Why did he say for the big event? That would be the JFK assassination.
At this point,
if you're on your deathbed, unless the party thinks, wait a minute, maybe I could spin my health around and I'm going to be all right.
Yeah.
And at that point, then I'm fucked because I wasn't speaking vaguely.
I don't want to spill all the beans here, just in case they come in with a cure.
Right. Is that what's going on here?
I don't know. Yeah. Why would you say
the big event?
The big event, and not say to kill Kennedy?
Right. All right. Keep going.
Their addresses were very subject to change, so that where a fellow like Morales had been one day, you would not necessarily associated with that same address the following day.
But he's already associated with that address no matter what. No matter if he was there a week or a day.
Yeah. What are you saying? He moved around?
All right, he moved around a little bit.
Is that what he tried to say in that fucking long-winded nothingness?
How can he have all these details and then no specifics at the end?
That's why I went home going, man, we just didn't do a good job with this tape. It's a weird tape.
Well, it proves nothing.
You're right.
Well, and no one has really played it anywhere.
Because it's nonsense.
Right.
Yeah.
But here, I think he's finally starting to summarize what he's trying to say.
Oh, boy.
Mobile experience.
In short, it was a very mobile experience.
Let me point out at this point that if I had wanted to fictionalize what went on in Miami and elsewhere during the run-up for the big event, I would have done so. But I don't want any unreality to tinge this particular story.
Who talks like that?
Right.
I don't want any unreality to tinge the story. It's like, I don't want to make anything up.
Right.
And, taint this fucking...
What is he trying to say there?
That
they were practicing
lying.
in Miami, or they wanted to take him out in Miami and Chicago, as we've heard over the years?
No, there's stories about, Miami and other places.
Right. Well, the other place would be Chicago. But I don't want any unreality to tinge this particular story or the information, I should say.
He's just babbling.
Go ahead.
Information, I should say. I was a bench warmer on it, and I had a reputation for honesty.
Pause.
I think it's essential.
So he's saying he was a bench warmer for the big event, which is the JFK assassination. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't he say, okay, my job that day, just in case I was needed, was to do blank?
They had to bring in the left-hander.
Right.
He
just says bench warmer. What does that mean?
Yeah.
And who's he talking to?
Someone pulled a hammy.
Yeah, exactly.
He was there to go in.
You think whoever was there recording would be there to keep him on focus?
Of course. Yeah.
Something. What are you saying?
Put me in, coach.
You finally got a guy doing a deathbed confession, but he's speaking, vague.
Yeah.
And you're not asking follow-up questions like, what does that mean you were a bench warmer?
What are you telling me right now?
What is the big event, just so we have it on record? Because maybe he's talking about some other nonsense.
Big event, some fucking birthday party for his great-granddaughter.
He's probably got everything confused at this point.
Oh, he does.
I think it's essential to refocus on what this information that I've been providing you and you alone, by the way. That's about what you're going to hear right now. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So to refocus on what this information that I've been providing you, and you alone, by the way, consists of. What is important in the story is that we've backtracked the chain of command up through Cordmeyer and laying the doings at the doorstep of LBJ.
Oh,
the doings.
He, in my opinion, had an almost maniacal urge to become president. He regarded
so to kill him?
JFK as he was, in fact, an obstacle to achieving that. He could have waited for JFK to finish out his term and then undoubtedly a second term. So that would have put the LBJ at the head of a long list of people who were waiting for some change in the executive branch.
So,
what?
All right. So what happened that day in Dallas?
Right there, he fucking took his last breath.
Right.
That's what it sounds like. It just cuts off. Yeah. How about some fucking,
And LBJ never went for a second term.
No.
So if you really want to be president that bad, why would he just give up on that a couple of years later?
Hunt's a cunt.
So I just went home going, what the hell did we listen to at the end of the show there?
It was just babble.
And Alex Jones sells it that it completely proves that there was a conspiracy that day.
That's like everything Alex Jones puts out, documents, tapes. It's like, this is obviously going to show that Kennedy was assassinated by, the World Trade Center was brought down, and it's obvious through this tapes, and then you listen to it, and it's like, no. Right. It's not obvious.
Let me go to Lee. He wants to, I guess, translate this for us.
Oh, God.
Lee, go ahead, buddy.
Hey, well, this recording was done by the son. He was letting his dad talk. His dad had finally he's been trying to get convince his dad to explain this thing for years. He finally get his dad on recording. Daddy's already 80-some-odd years old. I don't know if it's necessarily a death
babbling father like that.
Well, yeah, it's just the way Dad talks, apparently. But anyway, so the guy's explaining it, and of course, he's explaining it the way some spook, which E.L. Hunt was for years, is explaining it. He didn't want to get off into great the details, but
there were zero details.
Yeah, deathbed confession should be a deathbed confession. Imagine having to grow up with that guy.
I think that goes down as the worst deathbed confession ever.
Yeah, terrible.
He didn't explain anything, Lee.
Well, you need to know the backstory a little bit, guys. I mean, apparently
you know the backstory.
You don't seem to. You don't have all the details of the thing. This was presented on Coast to Coast AM with Ian Punnett. Ian Punnett is the guy you think was
all right. Okay. All right. Let's start with this. What happened that day in Dallas, according to Hunt?
Well, there was people that were jogging through the streets, and
can you imagine that information being stored in that vehicle?
Oh God!
Right.
Like that's where that brain has all the information, but the only way it comes out is through talking like that.
The cartoon voice with the vagary.
Lee, explain.
Right. You're making a bit out of it, but it's
we're not. Honestly. Oh my God! I mean, sadly, we're not really making a bit out of this. We're just going back to this tape because it just seemed a little fishy when I went home yesterday and I was just thinking about it.
Proves nothing.
Yeah, because if you're having a deathbed confession, there's way more details involved. What did he mean by being a bench warmer that day in Dallas?
Basically, he was kind of like to provide money and stuff like that for those guys that were doing the hit.
Mm-hmm. Why don't you just say that then?
Jesus, Sam, the guy was 80 fucking years old.
Oh, come on, man.
I hope you're as sane as this guy was when you're 80.
Oh, that's nice of him.
See, that helps the conspiracy people.
Exactly.
See, he was 80-something. That's why.
It's always an excuse.
I don't know if you're going to get a lot on a YouTube. I don't know how long that YouTube video was, but this was the whole...
Too long.
It was, way too long.
Show, a 3-hour show on Coast to Coast that the Sun finally, St. John Hunt is the guy's name, I think, came up with this thing. And then
how about this? His son is the worst interviewer ever.
It's true. Even though it's your dad.
Because, okay, if you're dealing with an old man, which you are, someone in their 80s, okay, I'll buy that a little bit. There's ways of kind of keeping them on track and asking them to explain a little bit more.
Really?
Yeah, simple follow-up.
How about that? Instead of saying the big event, that throws people off because, like, at the big event, that could be anything that was associated with Kennedy. I'm sure he had all sorts of scandals and things going on. So at least go, hey, Dad, what do you mean by the big event? And he goes, well, the assassination, of course.
I understand. But I think this is the way an 80-year-old guy talks. I mean, you guys...
Maybe this is all about LBJ was onto the fact that JFK had all these mistresses and they were going to try to, fuck him over that way.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I don't know because he doesn't explain.
No.
Well, anyway, it's probably too long for y'all to get into the whole thing, but it was a 3-hour show that night.
But you can't even explain it. He's the bench warmer. That means he had a few bucks in his pocket. So here, pay your rent at this crazy place before you move on to the next place you're going to live tomorrow.
As I understand it, he was providing money and support, different types of things.
See, it's all vague shit. What? All right. Unlike his dopey son, what does the support part mean?
Well, I'm not exactly sure.
All right. Well, see, that makes it easy for you.
If he wouldn't have been so vague, you would be sure.
There's a 3-hour show, and you can't pull out one soundbite.
Right.
This guy was a bench warmer. He provided money and support. So what is the support part?
Support part are things like logistics,
See, another weird word.
Logistics.
Logistics. What does that mean?
Right.
Moral support. He was like a cheerleader.
No, what is the logistics of it for him?
Well, I wasn't there, guys.
Was he looking to the left and to the right, making sure no one was watching?
You admit that you were not there.
Maybe he was providing the map. Maybe he was.
But you listened to the 3-hour show.
Your name's Lee. You're from Dallas. Were you there?
Yeah.
Listening to your show for 4 hours. How much am I going to really get and be able to talk about at the end of the whole
Valid
thing?
point.
But you're kind of making our point today because you're not really adding much to this either.
Okay. All right.
Just the way he talks.
Take your 5-minute YouTube video and have a good time with it. But I'm just telling you.
All right, but you're not really
yelling at us.
You're not really helping good old Hunt.
I don't want you to help him or not. I mean,
he's dead.
He did it.
Hard to help him now.
Right.
Like you say, guys, I wasn't there, so I don't know.
All right. Well, you added a lot to it. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right.
Quite exciting.
Ron in Toronto. Ron.
Yeah. I can't. I don't know what that last guy was saying, but yeah, apparently
Just say he was an asshole.
It was made by his son. His son had some wacky first name.
Yes, we covered that. Okay.
It was. I think it was part of like a larger like article that he wrote or something. I think that most of it was kept for his writing, as opposed to sort of an audio thing.
That was,
why hear it from the horse's mouth?
Another puzzle piece put in. Wow. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
This is like trying to do a puzzle upside down. Meaning all the pieces are upside down, so you can't see the little.
You can't see the pictures.
The little sky. Or here's a piece of the tree.
We need to find Rain Man to put this thing together.
But this is what I'm trying to say.
It's just ridiculous.
He's trying to say that he left it more for his article because God, we all know we'd rather read than listen to something.
Of course, and left it for his article. When did he plan on doing that?
Where's this article? Can we read it?
Yeah.
Let me say hi to Eric in Jersey. Eric.
So you guys were talking about a great deathbed confession.
Yeah.
You remember the famous Loch Ness Monster picture that for years they couldn't figure out was it real, was it not?
Sure.
And then finally the last guy who was part of it on his deathbed said, hey, guess what? It was just a model. I explained the whole thing, mystery solved, case closed. That's how you do a deathbed confession.
That's a deathbed confession, not, well, during the big events, I was a bench warmer. Meaning I was making hot cocoa for the guys.
Well, let's talk about Guatemala for a while.
But he's right. Deathbed confession. Hey, guess what? It was a model. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's all we need to know.
Towards the water and see the...
There was some form of creaturistic qualities on the surface of the near glass-like water that... All right.
We ate potatoes the day before. At the time, you could buy potatoes.
You're right. You get to the point, you dying old fuck.
But then I got tricked again by Alex Jones. He goes, there's a deathbed confession. It's all right there.
Of course.
So then he hangs up. We listen to that, and then we're just staring at each other like, what the fuck are we listening to? Let's say hi to Kevin in South Carolina.
Good morning, gentlemen. Hey, that guy in the deathbed said he was giving logistics and support. So how come Oswald had to ride a bus then walk back to his house?
He sucked at support.
Yeah. Thanks for the support and logistics.
Bravo, Kevin.
Have a good day, boys.
Yeah, this guy's running for his life, jumping on city buses, paying for a movie ticket.
Shooting cops.
Shooting cops. He's got his own GTA game going on.
Yeah.
And you got this Hunt guy that's, the support guy.
And
where was he?
The movie's playing at the theater at the time. All right.
Oh, that's a great phone call. You're right.
Oh.
Well, if there was proper support, wouldn't he just be jump in a car
a black
or a van
or something
that's in the back of the
I was driving the black van that Oswald hopped in. Oh, wow.
Okay. Now you got something.
Good.
Tell us more about that.
I heard Oswald, one word that actually ties it to this whole fucking thing.
But there's Oswald all nervous and sweating, running down the street.
Yeah.
Hoping that someone was going to help him out.
And
he's shooting cops. He jumps on a bus.
Buses.
The best he could figure out, because, I guess the support was lagging that day, was I'll sit in this movie theater and hope no one notices.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Hunt was probably taking so long to give him directions to the movie theater afterward. I gotta go. I don't have time.
Now, there's a little stationery store, catty corner, on the block that you'll pass on. All right, I gotta go.
On the northwest side.
Hunt, I gotta go.
I just committed a horrible crime.
Yes.
I have to leave.
Right. Let me say hi to Paul in Jersey. Paul.
Yes, good morning, O&A.
What's up, Paul?
You talk about Deathbed Confessionals. There was a book that came out, I believe, this past month regarding D.B. Cooper and how he actually survived. And on his deathbed, he told his brother-in-law, who he really loved, he changed his name. And they made it I think it was 20 miles from where he landed. I bought a house in the whole spiel. The book about it just came out, like I said, last week.
Oh, yeah.
So you might want to check it out.
Yeah, I would check. I like that D.B. Cooper story, so
it's a pretty
I'll check that shit
story.
out.
Oh, so that's my last name. I figured it interests me anyway. I don't know if it interests you guys or not.
You sound like the Deathbed Confession guy, by the way, a little bit.
No one believes Deathbed Confessions as much as they say. They go, why wouldn't he have a deathbed confession? You know, the guy was quiet the whole time. Because no one really believes them either. It's like, well, he was dying. He'll say anything.
Sure.
So no one really believes
you have nothing to lose.
There's no accountability.
No.
Yeah.
Well, you got to hook them up to a lie detector test as they're doing their deathbed confession.
Yeah, there you
and then
go.
zap them if they're lying. Right?
That might help.
So, all right. We don't have to,
dwell
on it, but I was just so bothered by that. I'm like, man, we just let that sit there.
Yeah.
Although we played it really late.
Yeah, it was late.
We probably should have waited till today. Have fresh minds.
Our new, fresh, pliable minds.
I like that, though. He was the support guy.
Yeah, good job.
You got Lee Harvey just...
He did nothing.
Out of his mind going... Where's all my guys? Where's the bench warmer? They told me about the bench warmer.
Where's the bench warmer? I'm in a movie theater, for fuck's sake here. Help me out.
Running into the theater.
Bench is ice cold.
Yeah, look at me. I got punched in the eye.
Right.
Some fucking guys running up shooting me. You stink.
You're the worst bench warmer ever.
Yeah.
Right.
Jesus.
Exactly. Got punched in the eye.
Yeah.
Got a fucking gun in my gut.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Damn it.
Hunt. Piece of shit.
Maybe you could have come off the bench one time during all these crazy events that happened to me after I did my job properly.
Stop talking to people.
Right? Yeah. Stop just rambling on like that. And
that's probably why.
Help your man out here.
He probably was the bench warmer, supplying support. And then somebody at Dealey Plaza asked a simple direction, and he's like, what you gotta do is...
Gunfire, people running.
Right.
Now you're going to want to go down 2 blocks. All right.
He got distracted.
Yeah, a little distracted.
Yeah, a little bit.
Seems like Hunt could get distracted pretty easily.
A little bit, yeah. All right.
All right, well, that sucked. To hear the Opie and Anthony Show 5 days a week live on satellite radio, online on your phone or tablet, or even on demand, go to SiriusXM.com. Also, interact with the Opie and Anthony Show on Twitter, @Opie Radio, @Anthony Cumia, and @Jim Norton.